This video will wow you. The best part is that XRP Ripple's future appears to be more promising than ever. The lawsuit will undoubtedly be won by XRP. There has never been a more positive signal. The triumph, according to experts, could trigger a massive pump that could push the price of the XRP Ripple token to $11,898. Quite awesome, isn't it? Let's do it one step at a time. Disclaimer. One of the most well-known legal dramas in cryptocurrency has long cast a shadow over XRP. The conflict between the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple. This case shaped XRP's story for years. Every judicial decision and legal development caused market tremors. Many thought that the full power of the token would be unlocked by a judicial victory. However, that notion is no longer relevant. According to well-known cryptocurrency lawyer Bill Morgan, he claimed that the Ripple v. case no longer affects the price of XRP in a recent post on X. He contends that the impact has been absorbed by the market. Over the last 18 months, XRP performance has not responded much to either favorable or bad legal developments. The token's long-term price trend has hardly been impacted by even significant courtroom occurrences. Morgan comes to a startling but realistic conclusion. He notes that even though Ripple had a number of significant victories throughout the lawsuit, the price of XRP remained largely dependent on changes in the overall market. Once a major source of conjecture and emotion, the courtroom drama has lost its impact. The legal ambiguity that formerly surrounded XRP has mostly been factored in. Investors have shifted their focus elsewhere as the excitement has subsided. Now, that focus has moved to something much larger, the possible approval of an exchange-traded fund for spot XRP. Things start to become intriguing at this point. ETF are financial instruments that combine assets such as XRP into a regulated product that is available for purchase on conventional stock exchanges. Consider it similar to a fruit basket. You purchase the entire basket rather than just one apple or orange. In the context of cryptocurrency, this entails purchasing exposure to a token such as XRP without using wallets, private keys, or cryptocurrency exchanges. More significantly, institutional investors, those who oversee billions of dollars, who are looking for safer, more regulated ways to access the market, might use ETF as a gateway. After the spot ETF were approved, Bitcoin had a spike in value at the beginning of 2024. Institutional players and asset managers invested billions of dollars in these products. Given the SEC recent publication of new guidelines that clarifies disclosure regulations for crypto spot ETF, including ones that may incorporate XRP, analysts think XRP may take a similar route. Steph, a well-known cryptocurrency speaker, pointed up this development on X and emphasized how regulatory clarity may be paving the way for ETF with an emphasis on XRP. The XRP community has become more optimistic as a result of this potential. Demand patterns may shift quickly if institutions are able to access XRP through a regulated ETF. XRP might start moving based on its utility, which has always been its purpose, rather than just being a token caught in the same 4-year cycles or the gravitational pull of Bitcoin. That is the main argument made by Verson, who is regarded as the black swan capitalist in the cryptocurrency community. According to his tweet, XRP price will continue to be repressed as long as it is linked to Bitcoin and the volatility of the legacy market. However, XRP will increase on its own terms, propelled by its true actions rather than by hype or broad trends, if legislation breaks that link. The lawsuit consumed XRP for years. Every development in the Ripple v. case caused the market to rise or fall. However, the market has grown. Investors now appear to be more interested in whether XRP is constructing the necessary infrastructure to be a legitimate asset in international banking than they are in courtroom news. ETF interest is a sign of change. According to reports, well-known brands like Franklin Templeton and Grayscale are considering using XRP in their upcoming products, which conveys assurance that the SEC may finally approve it. The transition from legal conjecture to regulatory advancement, and from hype cycles to practical integration, is evident. It's aptly captured in Bill Morgan's observation. Courtrooms no longer decide the price of XRP. Giving big money a routing is now the focus. It won't be just another news story if a spot XRP ETF is approved. It might signal the beginning of a new era for XRP and its separation from the larger cryptocurrency market, one that is characterized by an adoption in utility rather than litigation. Crazy, huh? However, that is only the start. Let's now explore the opinions of cryptocurrency specialists regarding XRP future. Believe me, you're going to be shocked if you thought the lawsuit was the primary topic. Everything might alter as a result of a fresh round of forecasts, ETF rumors, and institutional actions. Let's dissect it. Thus, tweets from well-known individuals in the XRP community have illuminated timelines with an increasing sense of certainty. For some who think XRP journey hasn't even really started, a Minix's straightforward but impactful message, "We are so early, reverberates like a mantra. It's more than just hype. It is backed by more thorough and data-driven forecasts from companies like Valhill Capital, whose XRP value model is currently among the most discussed in the industry. Valhill projects that XRP may hit $4,813 by 2030 using the ANT and Michnik model, with a top limit of $9,000 in situations of vigorous adoption. These numbers seem crazy at first look. How might a token that is now worth less than $1 reach thousands of dollars? The Valhill's model, however, is not dependent on conventional market indicators such as trading volume or short-term speculation. Rather, it views XRP as a far larger entity, a worldwide store of wealth and a financial settlement medium. The dynamics of XRP supply will change if it is widely used for cross-border transactions, particularly in high-value industries like banking and institutional finance. Instead of trading XRP, more individuals and organizations would own it, so reducing the amount of circulating supply that is available. When you combine it with rising demand worldwide, you have a feedback loop that raises value. Valhills makes conservative assumptions. A 10% discount rate, a 5-year adoption window, and a consistent circulating supply of 56.5 billion XRP. However, the forecasts indicate exponential growth, even with these moderate assumptions. The $4,813 price threshold turns out to be a reasonable estimate if XRP only manages 10% of the daily global transaction volume. The model settles at $908 per XRP at a more moderate global demand of $100 trillion. Furthermore, if XRP is able to handle and grow $1 quadrillion in worldwide settlement, then the $9,000 per coin projection may not be as unrealistic as initially thought. Those at the forefront of the XRP movement find resonance in this way of thinking. Consider tweets such as Eco's explosive declaration that XRP will flip Bitcoin or Zach Rector's assertion that XRP has 10x momentum. That may seem improbable or even absurd to many observers. But it's not about overthrowing Bitcoin as a store of value. If XRP succeeds in its role as a utility-driven bridging asset incorporated into the global financial system, it involves functioning in a completely different league, enabling real-time asset exchange, central bank settlement layers, and cross-border liquidity. According to XRP Dragon, XRP will hit $500. Hold on tight and get ready for that pump. Naturally, Crypto Geek's wild projection of an XRP price of $11,898 is the most extreme to yet. I doubt even the most